is it to you? It almost feels to me like you look at them as we're all in the same plane and we're all in the same fraternity together in your relationship with high school coaches.
Well, I think that last night was a great example. I spoke at the Nike clinic in front of high school coaches, and we'll have our state clinic here. And I think that, growing up, I started off coaching high school football, and I've worked my way through. So I've been one of them, and I understand how difficult it is. And I would be very honest with you, is as I told the group last night, I spoke for almost 2.5 hours, and they kept me there, and I would go as long as you want, just kept talking. And, at the end of the conversation, I was telling them is that, and I tell my own daughter, I'm a part of it. It's a unique profession, but, really the most important people in our country today, in my opinion, are the high school teachers, the elementary teachers, and our coaches, and our music teachers, and we've kind of forgotten all that. I'm part of it. My life, I could be working tomorrow and get fired in the profession that we're in, but I told those coaches, I said, you all want to climb the ladder, I'm going to give you some words of advice. Our country needs you to stay in the high school level and help these kids out. And somewhere along the line, I hope somebody gets it figured out that those people need to be paid a whole lot more than the stars and the entertainment, and including our football coaches are our level. And we need to make sure we take care of those people, because they're really training the young people that we work with. And for some reason, we hadn't figured all that out. My daughter's one of them. She asked me, Dad, I get paid this, and she goes, I know that 13, 14 years ago, I was getting paid $50,000 a year, and I was living the same way. I was having a great time. Didn't know any different, but now I'm making a whole lot of money in the profession, and I've got a daughter that's working with behavioral disorder kids right here in the Twin Cities, and I don't think she's making $30,000 a year. And she goes, Dad, I can't, I don't know how that makes. She goes, you help a lot of people out, but she goes, it's just kind of weird how that all bounces out. So I think we're in a unique spin in our country right now, and we do need to figure out. You never hear me complain about the kids, because that's why I've got a job. But the grown-ups like me, we've got to make sure that we take care of the kids, and I'm not sure we're doing as good a job of that as we could when they're younger.
Last question, and I'll open it up to the floor. You mentioned Rebecca. She was with you last night in St. Louis, and again, a lot of people in here work really hard at their jobs, and they want to do everything right, keep everything balanced, and we want it all in the American dream. How do you try to maintain some semblance of balance in a profession that just demands and sucks your time, energy, and emotion every day?
Well, I think that if I'm going to be honest, it's hard. It's a hard balance. I guess I'm the only one. I get publicly. We had an interview which we enjoyed, but everybody, hey, Coach, you had this. You're going to be married 30 years, happy marriage, and no, wait a minute now. My wife left me. I think we were married 3 years, and she packed her bags. You're the only guy in America that admits that on TV. It's all over the country. I think we all that have been married. I've been very fortunate to stay married, but I think that when I first got into the profession, I worked for Coach Franchione. We're in the office at 6 in the morning, and I didn't get home until 2 o'clock in the morning, and that was every single day. And if it was a weekend, you were playing golf with the donor, and that's the way it was. And I never seen my wife, and so she left, and she had tried to figure out how is this going to work. This is going to be our way of life. It's our life, and she really wanted to do that. I had to figure out, do I really want to do this in coaching and spend all this time? And I think we met together because I'm a competitive person. I didn't want to lose her, and we just kind of worked it out. We met with somebody, and that's the only person we've ever met with in our life. And we just, we had to figure out, what we were going to do with our life. And I think from then on, we kind of learned through it together. And do I live a perfectly balanced life? No, I don't. We try. I would tell you, since I've gone through health issues 8 years ago, is that we live a much more balanced life than we did before that. I don't think we had all of our priorities in order, but when you're told you may not be here, you try to give an order a little bit differently. And so I think we've done a much better job. But for me to sit here and tell everybody that we live a perfectly balanced life, I don't think when you want to be professionally successful and run a business and be a great husband, be a great parent, make sure the fans are happy, make sure the neighbors, it's hard. And but at the end of the day, you know, you just got to find a way to put it in perspective. And I will tell every one of you that nothing's more important in your family. So at the end, there's nothing more important in your family. I've learned that, and learned that through you're talking to a guy that didn't get to see some of his daughter's games and things of that nature. I'm not proud of that, but in our profession, that's something to give and take in it. So not easy.
Not easy is the
tough
right
deal.
answer. Yeah. Let's open.